What's up, guys? And we are back. No, I'm just kidding. But Nasty Nate here. Just finished Tampa Pro a week and a half ago. So now I would say we're just sort of in like a limbo phase right now. Just sort of like getting my health back, keeping the calories relatively moderate. Just like, so for me, I'll explain it like this. Tampa was my 21st show. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to like other people because I know I'm responsible and I know I can handle my shit. But essentially like the next 3 to 4 weeks is sort of like a down period where I'm still training and like more like having fun and not really like tracking, taking it too seriously. Essentially letting my body like freshen up again and like heal. And like you get a lot of like nagging aches and pains after the show, just especially if you do more than one show. And my first show was in the beginning of June. So it'd been a long season, which I usually do. So during that time, it's more like to recover mentally too. Because for me, someone who's been doing it this long, I know in like 2 months, I'm gonna hate food and my food's gonna be extremely high and it's gonna be all business again. So for me to not get burnt out, you know, this is sort of what I do now. I didn't do it when I was an amateur, but you hear a lot of pros, you know what I mean? Like after their competitive season, they might take a month, they might take 2 months off. It doesn't mean I don't still make sure I look good and like I'm on top of my stuff, but I'm not as anal or OCD. Like I'm not like waking up every morning making sure I hit my meal at this time or et cetera, et cetera. It's more of like a mental break, and that's why I've been doing it for so long, and that's why I feel like I'm able to do it for so long. And so now from this period, like I'm only up like 5 pounds from stage weight. So just to give you an example, whereas like most people, they wouldn't really be able to do that with their own devices, you know, like they would either probably eat too much or, you know, wouldn't really know how to handle that. But obviously I'm also a coach as well. So, you know, it's sort of, I sort of know what I'm doing at this point. So, you know, I've been doing this long enough that this keeps me going and keeps me driven. So so I've been competing for 12 years. So for me, I still need that drive and that want and that love to be bodybuilding. So for me, post-show, this little bit of downtime helps me be able to keep doing that and keep that love and passion for bodybuilding, which has made me a great bodybuilder because of that love and passion, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you want to touch on any of like sort of how I said that, but
yeah, no, I think
when post-show
about is always use the analogy of you know, look at a day, right? You're up and about for 14 to 16 hours, and then you need 8 hours to sleep to recover to do it all over again. And if you take that into a broader picture and you macro it out into a year, you know, if you take your year and you're going hard, you know, 8 to 10 months out of the year, you got to give yourself 2 months to 3 months of downtime. And like what he's talking about is his downtime doesn't mean he's off the beach drinking margaritas the whole time, not training. He's just saying he's putting a little less of that same mental discipline in, giving himself a little bit of a mental relief, you know. And like you just said, he's only up 5-6 pounds from show day. You know, for a guy that's in his 260s, it wouldn't be weird for someone to be already like 280, 290 already for the show. So it's not like he's like eating buffets and eating junk food. Right. If there's a few days where he's only getting 5 meals instead of 6, so be it. You know, you got to give your digestive system a rest. If there's a few days where he's, you know, 20% over on his carbs because he had a cookie or a couple rice cakes or, you know, a few extra things that he was just kind of eyeballing, no big deal. There's nothing he's doing right now that we can't make up with once we start the off season. And as he said, and he knows this better than anyone, the worst thing to be is full when you start your off season. So you want to be hungry for as long as possible. So just the fact that he's only up 5 to 6 pounds, I'm not worried at all because I know his appetite's still high. So when we do start pushing food, when we do start pushing the training really hard again, he's going to have a lot of leeway before he starts to get to that point where he's like, I can't eat my next meal.
yeah. So for like that downtime, what I'm talking about is sort of what Andrew just touched on. I still have in the back of my mind like my off season and like my push coming up. So like, if anything, I want to like eat a little bit less than I would normally just because it's going to keep that appetite at bay and keep that metabolism fire and keep that insulin sensitivity as best as it can be, where when we do finally like, okay, we get the blood work done, body's healed up, we're good to go, we can push. It's like I just finished the show still, you know what I'm saying? So whereas a lot of guys are so apt, hey, right after the show, we got to push, we got to rebound. It's like if you can be disciplined enough, and luckily, like I said, I've been doing this long enough that I feel like I act like a pro. This is my job, you know what I mean? Essentially is the way you got to act like that. So now when we do say we do a rebound 6-7 weeks post-show, it's like it's still post-show because I didn't mess up, you know what I mean? I didn't put a bunch of fat on. I didn't kill my insulin sensitivity. You know, everything is ready to roll. So then when we do that push, it's going to still be the similar response as you would get post-show. But we can actually run stuff a little bit longer and my body's going to be a little fresher, which I'm a big fan of, because if you think about it, especially right after post show, your body is fried, your central nervous system, like everything, like your body is still getting acclimated to a normal life. So like it usually takes, I would say, like 3 to 4 weeks to feel like normalized. So you're already halfway through that blast post show, because you're only going to run it like 8-10 weeks because you've been already running a cycle with prep, right? And I like I said, I had an earlier show in early June, so we've even been on stuff a little bit longer than just say one show. So now like is an important time, like, and like that's why I've been doing 21 shows, because I keep my health in check. We are very, you know, all over the blood work and taking the proper health supplements. Shout out to Revive. Use code DASTY8. No, but yeah, we're all over like keeping that stuff in check, because we look at it longevity. You know, we're not looking at it as like what can we do in one season. You know what I mean? Like we look at this as like, okay, we want to do this as long as we can, stay as healthy as we can, and that means the body too. So that's what I'm saying about like post show. It might not be rare for me to be like, okay, maybe I'm going to sit out 2-3 days in a row, you know, and it's okay to do that. And I think that's the time where, you know what I mean? It's okay to say, hey, I'm going to sit out 4 or 5 days or however many days just to get my body fresh and feeling better. And I'm a big fan of that too. So like maybe what I'm a big fan of is like post show, you still train maybe 1 to 2 weeks and get that body acclimated, and then take that week off, like 3 or 4 weeks post show, because now everything's sort of normalized. So you're not just going to put on body fat, like your body's sort of regulated at that point. And honestly, I got that from this guy. So
yeah, I mean, the long and short of it is you do a hard contest prep and everyone's so motivated after a show to make progress, right? But the problem is, like Nate just mentioned, you've already done 20-25 weeks of PEDs, and that needs to come into account. You got to look at your blood work, you got to look at your health. Secondarily, mentally, no matter how good you feel after you've had a few cheat meals after the show and you've upped your calories, bumped your cardio down a little bit, you are going to hit a second wall at some point. Your joints start acting up, you start losing your sleep again. You almost feel like you did at the worst part of prep. So it's really important to pay attention to those cues, listen to your body. You're not going to lose any progress for taking a week off or 2 weeks off, which is why you see so many experienced pros that have been competing for years. They take upwards of maybe 3-4 weeks off from the gym completely once they're done a show. And they show up the next year looking just as good, if not better, every single year. So just listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to your coach, and definitely stay on top of your health, mentally and physically.
yeah, so just some post show stuff. So now we're just gonna, you know, have some fun today, train some chest and delts, and you know, get a nice pump and just have fun. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's enough about post show. We'll see you guys out there with a juicy pump.
Behind the scenes, full screen, catching love. The gun looks clean, whistle like a tea kettle. Running like the girls. You will never be sports, you want to play. Yeah.
Yo, check out this backpack. I won't lie, I'm a big fan of the drawstring bags for my gym, because I don't like carrying the big bags like a lot of people do. But this raw bag is a drawstring bag, but it's actually like really good quality. So you got like these little like drink holders. Then there's a little pouch right here. You know, a lot of them are cheap and like fall apart and they rip apart, but these are actually really nice. And then the inside you got like even like if you have a drink or something, it's like water protected. And it's a little bit thicker and better, like sturdier, you know? So shout out to Raw with a drawstring bag. These are dope.
Big spot. Boom. It's the perfect spot.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? Even though you're doing that, but psychologically you're like, oh.
What do you think about the Texas Pro?
Oh man, Texas was really good. Unfortunately, we didn't make it. We were actually gonna maybe fly out, but Hurricane Debbie had other priorities. But no, I mean, dude, Andrew was just insane. I mean, obviously it's all over the internet and stuff, but just the improvements were pretty wild. I mean, just it's even crazy. Like you saw the improvements like just from his physique, but then when you saw the side by sides, you're like, what the hell? Like, and that was only from the Olympia, which was in what, November this year?
Yeah, November.
So like that was only like 6 months,
7 months,
which is insane. What do you think, Andrew? Like, what do you think at the Olympia? Like how he'll do and like what that physique?
Honestly, I might be like off here, but I could see Andrew being not this year, but I think if he stays with it, like next year, I could see him being like a Mr. Olympia. Like his frame is just you can't overlook his frame, and the fact that he put on 20 pounds of muscle in one off season, or a very short off season, as Nate alluded to. And the fact that his body looks like it wants to continue growing, like I could see him being like a 310 competitor on stage, in condition, muscles fully developed, like almost, you know, don't hate me, internet, like almost a better Ronnie Coleman. That his waist is tiny. You can still see for being a big man, he's still got those tiny joints, and he's kind of got like the Flex Wheeler muscle bellies. Yeah. I thought as soon as he walked out, we were both like, okay, show's over. You know, don't even need to see anybody else. So yeah, I think he fits right in that mix this year. I don't see him finishing worse than third. So sorry, friends, but like I think, you know, between Hottie, Derek, and Andrew, that's your top three. I'm still gonna say I think Hottie's gonna win this year. I just think that guy's on a mission after losing last year. We've seen some great updates from him. We've seen great updates from Derek. We saw Andrew on stage, and I think this is gonna be like an Olympia that we don't want to miss for sure.
Oh yeah, it's just insane. And also too, like the craziest part is he's like 40 years old, which is like wild, and he's still making those improvements. 39, yeah. And also, I would bet money that he's probably missing some meals here and there, you know, in between that progress period. So like, whereas us, like we have to like, you know, lick every rice grain up to like make the best progress we can. You know what I mean? So like that just goes to show. I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm like just saying like I wouldn't be surprised if like he wasn't like super on and just grew, you know what I mean, which is wild. Like
you got the genetics. Genetic freak.
It's crazy. Like and like just he's something different that we've never really seen as far as at that level. Like he's sort of like similar to like Cedric, but like Cedric wasn't even like, he's just put together better and like has more polish, and his conditioning is a little better than Cedric. But like that's like what we always want to see from Cedric, I feel like, you know what I mean?
I don't think Cedric ever got nearly as conditioned as Andrew has for this show or last show. And you know, when someone puts on 20 pounds, you expect them to lose a little bit of that conditioning. Right. You know, you're going to be blown away by how much size they put on. The lines are a little blurred. But as you showed me yesterday, like the side-by-sides from last year's Texas and now, I don't think he was off by any stretch. I thought his conditioning was just the same. All you saw was, you know, bigger muscle bellies, larger muscles. The waist stayed the same size. It's crazy to say that a guy in his 40s has such a bright future ahead of him, but like I think he's the future of the sport in some way, shape, or form.
Well, actually, that's a good point, because, like, you know, at the Arnold earlier in the year, Rafael Brandao put on a bunch of muscle, and they were almost like, well, we came in a little bit softer because we had that new tissue, like Neil's approach. We want to sort of keep that look and that fullness and that roundness. Whereas, like we just said, like Andrew really didn't have to do that. He was still just as tight as last year, maybe even tighter, who knows? Yeah. I mean, it was pretty damn impressive. And, like, it's hard to judge because, like, no disrespect to the other guys because they're phenomenal, but like it's hard to judge because he was so far ahead of like Jordan and Nathan, and they're immaculate, but I mean they're brand new pros, so like nothing to them, but like Andrew's just like a specimen, and I'm sure they agree, but like it's hard to compare because like the discrepancy was so far between them, right? You know?
Well, wouldn't you agree that once you're backstage and you see a guy like Andrew, you're like, okay, a win for me today would be to get second place in this show. Like he's on his own. Like, I mean, you had a class like that when Bundy at the Nationals in 2020.
Right.
2020?
Yeah.
When Bundy was released, he was dismissed from the stage after one round of posing by himself. And like, it was one of those things where I'd never seen one guy get dismissed before. They basically saying, you just won this class, you're getting your pro card, absolutely. We'll see you in the overall tonight. And I feel like that's probably what, you know, Nathan and Jordan were probably thinking in the back of their minds, like, yeah, you obviously want to win a show, but you know, when you see a guy like Andrew walk out there, you're like, okay, this thing's already over.
Like the other day we were saying, like, most open pros are 1%, right? And this guy's like 0.001%. Like, he's just a specimen. Like, he's a once in a lifetime person that comes along, you know, like a Ronnie, like a Phil. Obviously he has to clean some stuff up and, you know, dial it in a little bit more to like match those guys. But, you know, if he can bring in that conditioning and like with that current look, like there's no reason why he can't be in that conversation down the road, you know what I mean? And he's right there, and like the rate that he is improving, it just speaks for itself, you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
But yeah, the Olympia will be interesting, and we'll touch more on that.
Nice. Yep. Yep. Good. Up. Come on. Yep. Up. Up. Good. Up. Nice.
Felt good.
Let's go for it.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Nice. Yep. Yep. Come on. There you go. Come on. Nice. Yep. Yep. That's good. Like, oh, the wrist off. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yep.
Come on. Good. Up. Come on. Up. Good. Up. That's it. Up. Yeah. Nice. Yep. Come on. Come on. Up. 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 Woo. Shit.
Woo. Feels good to lift some heavy ass weight. Yep. Nice. Yep. Nice.
Yep.
Yep. Come on. Nice. Yep. Come on. Yep. Come on. 2 more. Nice. Yep.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Come on. There you go. Up. Good. Up. Nice. Come on, another one. Up. Yep. Let's go. Come on. Up. Another one. Up. Come on. Finish it.
Shit. Oh.
Whew. It's got heavy.
Yeah. That was heavy.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up, buddy? Hey, how you doing?
Not bad.
Good one.
Where's legs? I don't know. I think maybe legs area.
So yeah, shout out to Raw Nutrition. I'm really liking so I just want to touch base on what I've been using lately. I started using because I'm post-show, I don't really need a whole lot of caffeine or stimulant, so I started using their non-stim pump pre-workout. The raspberry lemonade, I think, is what I have today. And obviously you can see the pump is crazy. But yeah, I've been really liking that. I put Pico 2 in it, just to help. So post-show too, like you have a lot of energy, but then you sort of fade still a little bit, like easier. So that Pico 2 sort of keeps that stamina throughout the whole workout, which I really like. And then for intra, I've been doing the EAA. I tried all the EAAs now, but the pineapple is my favorite. I do the pineapple EAA with raw intra, which is a carbohydrate powder. I do that with the unflavored intra is the key. So then you mix the pineapple EAA with the raw intra carbs, which is non-flavored. So that way it tastes like pineapple. Like honestly, I hate when there's like an EAA that's like one flavor and then the carb powder is like a different flavor, because it never really goes well together, you know what I mean? So it's sort of weird. So that's what we've been doing lately. Code Nasty Nate, give it a try. Let me know what you guys think. And also, I really appreciate you guys showing the love and support. You guys have been killing it using my code, and I appreciate it.
Delta went crazy. That was good. I love that shot. Sick. Oh yeah, that was sick, bro.
That's nuts.
That was sick. The hand on hip one.
All right, guys. So that was a workout with we did some chest and delts. About 9 days post show from the Tampa. Feeling good. That was good today. I mean, we both felt pretty strong. We did some pretty heavy pressing, so it was fun. You know what I mean? And like that's what I said in the beginning is, you know, now is the time. You know what I mean? Have a little fun. Like we don't take it quite as seriously because, you know, when my off season starts, you know, I do get very serious as far as like, okay, the lifts how I want them to go down, how I want my, you know, the weight, the repetitions, and everything I envision how I want it to be. Whereas now it's like a little bit more lackluster. You know, we're just pushing some weight, having some fun, nothing too crazy. Maybe we'll cut the workout a little short, maybe we'll go a little longer, where it's not quite as like super detailed and like super OCD. Whereas like once the off season gets rolling, you know, every day is a day to add new muscle. Every day is a day to get better. Whereas now, like I said in the beginning, it's a little bit more downtime. We're having fun, pushing weight, taking some pictures still because like still look good. You know what I mean? So just having a good time, and yeah, it felt good. You know, we both were pressing pretty strong, and it was a pretty good, lively atmosphere today, and a good workout. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think take home is we only did 5 movements. You know, we did 3 for chest, 2 for shoulders, whereas in maybe an off season we might do 4 for chest and maybe 3 or 4 for shoulders. So we pulled back on the volume a little bit. As Nate alluded to, we both felt pretty strong today. And also I should point out, like, we felt strong in exercises that were safe. You know, we're not doing bench presses, we're not doing, you know, free bar exercises like that and trying to use 4 plates or anything, but we went pretty heavy on machines that were safe for us to do, that weren't gonna hurt the joints, because as you guys probably know, if you've competed before, you have a few meals, your muscles are gonna rehydrate and you're gonna get a little bit stronger, but your joints are usually a month or 2 behind. So we don't wanna do anything that's gonna tax the joints and you know, put a damper on the season if one of us gets hurt. So yeah, it was a great workout. We both felt strong, like we said, and had a great pump, and just kind of had fun. Did some pictures, did some posing and stuff. So it was a good time.
Yeah, and also sort of what Andrew was touching on is like a lot of us post show, we feel very strong, but internally we're not as strong as we feel. So it's something to definitely be cautious of. A lot of times you walk into the gym, maybe a week or 2, you got all that food in you, you know, you're feeling good, and the weights feel light. But you got to remember, you know, your joints and your CNS and everything isn't caught up there equally. So it's definitely something you want to be cautious of, because usually post-show, a lot of us feel pretty strong. We're back into it. We're motivated. We want to push hard. And, you know, you still got to be careful, and there's still some risk there. So that's sort of why we're using like the hammer strength press and that kind of stuff. So we had some fun pressing heavy, but we also kept it safe. Got a nice pump, and yeah, it was a great workout. So, for today, I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so today the pump was really good, and like I said, I used that non-stim pump from Raw, and that was really good. So, you know, helped get a little bit of a nice juicy pump there. And if you guys want to try some of the stuff out from Raw and Revive, like a lot of you guys have, I appreciate it. And my code's Nasty Nate. And yeah, just when you guys use that stuff and you guys repost it on your Instagram story, that goes a long ways for me and helps support me. And I'm one of those guys that I do appreciate all that you guys do, because I know without you guys doing that, it doesn't allow me to, you know, be the athlete I am today. Whereas a lot of guys, it sort of goes unnoticed. I definitely appreciate all the love and support you guys give me. Like, I don't have the biggest following. I mean, it's decent, but like you guys are all very loyal. Whereas like some of these people with like 100,000 followers, you know, there's not much interaction, there's not much love. So I like having like a little bit smaller following where you guys are more interactive, you know, so I appreciate that, and I feel like it goes a long way. So all that love and support, I definitely appreciate it. And yeah, make sure to check out Raw and Revive, and keep showing that love, and I'll keep showing my love back, and keep trying to put out these videos and some more information as far as like my bodybuilding journey and like what I'm doing and like the post-show stuff. And I think a lot of that knowledge and information goes a long ways, because a lot of that knowledge is really only acquired through all those years of experience that I've been doing, and you know, and been coaching with Andrew for like 8-9 years now. So a lot of that stuff's been passed down to me from him, and just goes a long ways. And there's a lot of like garbage information out there, unfortunately, but I do think some of the best information is the guys that have been in the trenches for years and years. You know, there's a lot of trial and error, and experience, which I think goes a long ways in bodybuilding. So yeah, just keep following along, and we'll keep putting these videos out the best we can. And comment, like, subscribe, you know, on the YouTube channel, and tell me guys what you guys want to see. Maybe we could do some more stuff and branch out now that the season's over. So yeah, keep following along, and appreciate you guys showing the love and watching the channel. So we're out.